Whenever a major life change occurs, nostalgia brings about much pondering and reflection. As graduation approaches, the next major change in my life, I find myself wondering how the culmination of classes and Harkins, walks through campus, afternoons spent sitting on the quad, and dreamy nights could have added up to 4 years of learning, playing, and growing at PC. While I always find it easy to recognize what I did not do and what I could have done better, I am working to appreciate what I did accomplish and how much I grew. I entered college as a confused 18-year-old with a very broken heart. The whole college process is very fuzzy in my mind, and I am not sure how or why I made many of the decisions I did. However, I am grateful that I landed at PC regardless. I grew up in a very small coastal town in southern Maine with my 2 younger brothers, Chris and Connor. We spent our childhood running around the neighborhood with our friends. My parents raised us as devout Catholics. However, as I grew older, I began to realize that I did not agree with many of the social issues that the Catholic Church took a strong stand on. Also, I did not always make the most responsible decisions when I was in high school, which resulted in conflict with my parents. I think that I resented the church and my parents for the guilt I felt, and as a result began to distance myself from my parents and the church. I no longer consider myself to be a practicing Catholic. However, I have mended my relationship with my parents and the Catholic Church, and I am grateful for the values the church instilled in me in my early life. This experience has also led me to avoid judging others. I know what it feels like to feel as if you are disappointing people who are important to you, but everyone needs to learn their own lessons through experience to truly understand. I remember my youth through the cycle of sports throughout the seasons. The fall season was always dedicated to soccer. I attest many of my friendships, work ethic, and value of commitment to my many years playing soccer. There was always something so empowering about being part of a team and working toward a common goal. We always had each other's backs on and off the fields. I kept busy throughout the long winters by playing and attending endless basketball tournaments. As I got older, I spent the winters at the hockey rink watching my friends play. Throughout the spring, I played tennis. It is still one of my favorite pastimes that I enjoy with my dad and brothers. My summers consisted of long days spent on the beach scooping ice cream at the local tourist trap, which eventually turned into serving lobsters. Many of the people I grew up with are still some of the most amazing people in my life that I am so grateful to have had throughout the ups and downs of adolescence and childhood. There is something truly special about the people who have always known you. They understand you on a different level. Before coming to Providence, my view of the world consisted of the people from my very small town that I had known and grown with since kindergarten or before. I lacked appreciation for my family and everything they had given me, as well as the incredible roots they provided me with that I did not yet know existed. I also lacked an appreciation for the beautiful town I grew up in, the down-to-earth people that inhabited it, and my accessibility to the ocean, which has always pulled me back home to Maine. However, my view of the world has grown immensely in the past 4 years. One of the aspects that pulled me toward education was the ability to teach and empower others, especially those who are less privileged than myself. I went in with the attitude that I would be teaching others, but as cliche as it sounds, I feel as if the students I have had the privilege of teaching the past 4 years have taught me more about the world and life than I ever could have imagined. I now respect and understand differences in ways of life and culture, and understand why one's culture plays such a significant role in their view of the world. I also feel as if I'm able to recognize and find the value in those differences. My friends from college have also played a role in changing my view of the world. We all grew up in different states and towns and have experienced the world in much different ways. And therefore, unlike my friends from childhood, my friends from college were chosen based on our similar values and interests. It is hard to believe I met them only 4 short years ago. I feel as if I have known them for my entire life. I am endlessly grateful to have slowly but surely become strong, independent young women with them. In the fall of my junior year, I had the opportunity to study abroad in Florence, Italy, which gave me unforgettable experiences, friendships, and further broadened my narrow view of the world. I fell in love with not only Florence, but all of the cities we visited. You learn a lot about yourself when an ocean separates you from everything and everyone you know and love. One of the greatest lessons I learned was the value of simplicity. The Italian culture is much more laid back than that of America's. Most walk or bike around the cities. They sit outside and truly enjoy each other's company over food and wine. A meal is a bonding experience meant to bring those who share it closer together. Furthermore, I have never been more present or able to enjoy and appreciate a moment than I did when I was abroad. I was in pure bliss, experiencing new places, cultures, and people on a regular basis. As my senior year of college now comes to a close and I have almost completed a full year of student teaching, I am now more than ever grateful for my parents who have always supported me and allowed me to explore and find my passions through my oftentimes crippling indecisiveness. My two brothers have made me laugh hysterically and driven me crazy, but I am always grateful for their energy and sense of humor. My life would be very boring without them. Only a little over a month ago, my grandfather passed away from a form of dementia called Lewy body. While I did not expect my grandfather's death to have a positive role in my life, it was an incredible reminder of what is really important. I have always struggled to live in the moment and embrace the now. My brain is constantly looking back or forward, trying to ease its anxieties and make sense of the craziness that is life. However, the weekend spent solely surrounded by my family, laughing, talking, and crying about the amazing man my grandfather was, reminded me how important family is and that in the end, they are really what matters most. Furthermore, reminiscing about the generosity and truly genuine character of my grandfather made me realize how lucky I am to be raised in a family with such strong values and to have been shown by example by so many role models what it means to be a good person and to live a good life.